What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ty. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, thank you for rocking with your girl. So guys, I have been seeing this product on YouTube for the last 3, 4, several years, okay? However, they only had shades that were not appropriate for my complexion up until recently. Okay, this is a cult favorite on YouTube. I have seen so many positive reviews. People love this product, and it was very disappointing me going to the store, my local drugstore, and walking in there and seeing the 6 shade selection and it being white, 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 and whitest. Like, it just, nothing would work for my complexion. And so it's very disappointing. However, Maybelline stepped their game up and said, you know what? We know that everyone loves this product. People keep buying this product. We need to extend our shade range to accommodate people of deeper complexions and people of fairer complexions. So I am so stoked to tell you guys that I'm here to review the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circle. So I know you guys have seen these out before. I know you've seen plenty of videos on it. However, I don't think you have seen any videos on the 4 darkest shades that they have just released. So Maybelline Maybelline released 6 new shades, one including a fair shade for my pale sisters or brothers, and then 4 deeper shades for women of color: golden, caramel, tan, and hazelnut. Okay, so this video will have swatches of the 4 deepest shades. It will also have a demo of me applying the products to my face, as well as a wear test, and also I will give you more information about the claims of this particular product. So if you want to see how these work and what my thoughts are on this particular concealer, then just keep on watching. Okay, this is the color Golden. This is what that one is looking like. I think this is going to be the brightest highlight concealer that I can use for my complexion. For reference, I'm a MAC NC45. This is the shade Caramel, which is the next one after Golden. As you can see, it's slightly deeper there. This again would be a highlighting color for my skin tone. Then we have the shade Tan. I think tan is the closest to my complexion. Again, MAC NC45. And then we have the deepest shade, which is Hazelnut. So I could probably get away with this one maybe in the summertime if I mix these 2 together, or I can use this one as a contour shade. So again, we have Golden, Caramel, Tan, and Hazelnut. The website does specifically say to not wet the sponge. You are to apply it directly to your face, and then any excess you are to wipe off with a tissue or a towel, but you're not to wet this sponge. I wish that the cap was maybe the same magenta color. That way you can just conceal the dirty cap, the dirty, sponge situation, but it's really not that big of a deal. You are getting 0.2 fluid ounces with this particular product, and I got mine from Walmart.com. That is the only place I was able to find it, and I actually just stumbled across it. It is not in any of my local stores. I haven't seen anybody review this, so I think your girl got something exclusive right here, okay? But I will tell you that on Walmart.com, the original shades were priced at about $8.75. However, the new shades were all about $9 and some change, almost $10. So I don't know if they're just placing the newer shades at a higher price point temporarily. I don't know if that's just a Walmart.com thing. But I was a little bit like, why we got the brown girl shades a little bit more expensive than the other ones? But womp womp womp. I'm going to do things just a little bit differently. I actually want to use as many of these shades as possible on my face. So I'm going to use this concealer as my foundation, as my concealer, as my contour, etc. So I know that this product does not claim to be full coverage or to be a foundation. Maybelline actually does have a Age Rewind foundation, which is a little bit bigger version of this. I do not have that. I'm not using that today. So yes, I'm going to be using this all over my face because I do have acne scars. I do have one active blemish right now. And just for the sake of this video, I want to see how much it covers and all of that. So I promise you guys, the concealer and foundation police will not come and arrest me for using these products. Just a little bit different than what they are intended for. But it's just all fun and games. It's just makeup, okay? So we're just gonna tap this in. Let's see what we got going. It feels very soft. The sponge is very comfortable. Enough product comes out. It does saturate the skin, so I don't feel like I'm having to drag it at all. And I wanna try this side of my face with a this is the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. This gives amazing coverage. Like, do y'all see this? Do y'all see this finish? Stop it. I'm so hyped. Like, just forget it. Like, I am so hyped. This is beautiful. It literally went exactly where I put it and just boop, just blurred everything out in that area. Look at this. You guys saw my blemish. Yes, this is an active blemish, so it is slightly raised, but look at this acne scar. All right, I'm hype already. Let me slow down, let me chill out. Let's try this side. I can tell you guys, I would definitely reach for this for a no makeup type of day, or just use this as a foundation. Now I will tell you that obviously with the amount that you get in here, you know, it may not last very long if you're using this as a foundation, but this is beautiful. I'm gonna try with my Morphe sponge just to see if there's any difference with coverage. I think I like the brush side just the tiniest bit, but this is not, I'm not mad at this, like at all. Let's try these lids. I do have some darkness on my lid, so we can see if that erases that and evens things out. I do have some dark marks here in the middle of my forehead, so let's see what this is working with. I'm trying to use as little amount of product as possible. I'm trying not to keep twisting, so I'm just twisting and really just keep exhausting the amount that's on the tip. So it does feel like it's dragging right now on my forehead only because I didn't release a ton of product. Okay, now I want to see what I can do with concealing, so I'm going to use Caramel first, which is the shade up. That is this shade right here under my eyes. Then I'm going to go ahead and pop on Golden right on top, which is this lightest color, just to make my concealer pop a little bit more. For contour, I'm going to take Hazelnut. It's going to be a very subtle contour because, again, this is not extremely deep for my complexion. I'm going to take the other side of the Morphe sponge, and it just blends out nicely. It really doesn't move a lot, so it doesn't spread around a lot. It's a nice combination of being very opaque but not extremely thick, but this is what we are working with here. Guys, so I am back with the rest of my makeup done. I can tell you guys that my face dried down very matte. So I almost felt like I didn't even need to set this concealer at all. Like with my under eye setting powder, I did use the Sacha Buttercup powder, but honestly it dried down so well that I didn't really feel like it was needed. Like, I don't know, I still did it. I set the rest of my face as well. I did add some additional contour just to deepen up my contour just a tiny bit. But overall, like, my face feels nice and matte, but doesn't look overly dry in my opinion. Of course, I did add some highlight to my face, so there is some glow because of that. I'm also going to be doing a wear test on this lippy right here. This is the Sacha Intense Matte Lip Velvet in the color Hello Boys. So I did receive this from Sacha Cosmetics to try out, so this will be a wear test for this as well. I did enjoy, you know, putting this on. I will say that not a lot comes out of the tube at once, so you do have to apply several layers to get it opaque. And you know, with liquid lipsticks, applying layers sometimes can be a little bit like, oh no, but I really liked how this dried down. My lips were very moisturized before I put it on, so we will see if this gets uncomfortable throughout the day. Let me take a flash photo so that you guys can see if there's any flashbacks. I'm just not a fan of this picture. You ever take a selfie and you're like, ugh, like no. This is an ugly ass picture, but I don't think there's any flashback. I'm not overly concerned with that. It just happens to be that this is an ugly ass picture of your girl. But let me go about my day, and I will be back, guys, in a few hours. Hey guys, I am back to check in with you guys in some natural light. It is 2:17 p.m. I have filmed this about 3 times for you guys, and each time when I look at the footage, I've had like the tiniest little booger in my nose. So I don't care if this time I still have a booger up my nose, and y'all just gonna have to forgive your girl. But I have had this foundation on for about 4 hours now because I did finish my makeup, or my face makeup, at about 10 o'clock this morning. And as you can see, guys, this face is still flawless and beat, okay? This face has not budged. I feel like my makeup looks exactly the same as when I put it on 4 hours ago, which is amazing. You guys know I have combination oily skin. I have not seen any breakdown. I don't feel extremely oily. It just looks amazing. This lippy is also holding on. I did have a pretty good breakfast this morning. I made myself a breakfast burrito, so it wasn't the daintiest of meals to eat, and this lippy has survived through all of that. But I am impressed. Like, Maybelline, you are doing it. Like, their products recently I have just been really enjoying. So far, so good. This is 4 hours in, and I will check back with you in about 4 more hours, but we'll see. Okay, so it is the end of the day. I decided to wrap things up just a tiny bit early. Right now it is 5:35 p.m. so I've had this on for 7.5 hours, but it is getting dark out, so I wanted to make sure I had good lighting to show you guys kind of how my face has been looking. See, this has worn very beautifully on my skin. Let me slow it down so you can see it all. I will say that I do see some settling in my fine lines, and I forgot to mention earlier that I did prime my smile lines with the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the Anti-Aging version. Around my eyebrows has gotten oily, which is very common for me. Always my eyebrows get oily, and then normally I see a lot more oil here in this area in my T-zone, but it looks pretty darn good. Like, for real, it looks very good. And as you can see, this lippy has held up. I only have a little bit of piece that has come off, so this Sacha lippy has done very well. It does retail for $15, and I want to point out to you how much that I actually used in this little experiment of mine. So this is tan. This is the one that I used all over my face, and as you can see, I put a nice little dent here in the bottle. So if you're planning to purchase this solely for the purpose of wearing it as a foundation, I do not recommend that, only because it's too expensive for how much you get. So at 0.2 fluid ounces, this is going to run you about $8 or $9. Whereas if you're looking for a finish like this, you might want to stick to an actual foundation, because typical foundation, liquid foundations come in 1 fluid ounce. And for something like that, you can run to do the Maybelline Super Stay foundation. It's going to give you a very similar coverage, but it's going to be a little bit more cost effective, because this is going to run you $11 and this is going to run you about $8 or $9. So it would take 5 of these to really, you know, get to the same amount of this. So I did go ahead and try to research and find my color in the foundation version of this, and what do you know, I can't find it anywhere locally, so I might have to go to try to find it online. But I'm going to look for the color tan in the foundation version just to see if they are the same. I've kind of seen a few videos, and I think that I'm hearing that they're not exactly the same, but we're gonna try it, and if I do find it, I will of course do a video for you guys and give you an update. I most likely will use this product as a spot concealer for any of my acne scars, and then use a powder foundation on top, as well as using it just as a normal concealer when I am actually wearing foundation. So I think it is wonderful. I think it did oxidize just a tiny bit, and I only noticed it more so when I was looking at myself in the mirror in indoor lighting. When I looked at myself in outdoor lighting, I honestly didn't think it was that big of a deal. Obviously it did dry very matte, and so if you are an oily girl, you might like something like this. If you have dry skin, I think it might be a little bit too matte for your preference. It's not the most hydrating, like under eye concealer. For that, you might want to go with like a L'Oreal Pro Glow for something like that. As you can see, everything is still on, everything is still in place. Honestly, I don't even feel like I need to blot, but I will just to show you guys that, to see if anything comes off. So not very much at all. So I would even go safe to say that this is almost transfer proof, because normally I would have a lot come off from this little area. This is my favorite place to blot, but I'm just beyond impressed. So I mean, I think we have a winner. I hope this video was helpful. If you guys have any questions that I have not addressed, please leave them down below. And until next time, bye guys.